I done been through hell and back. How the hell you move when you got happy feet? The wise man with the last laugh. Y'all keep laughing, please. Now I'm on that neck, real thug, cry.
Come and see what all the hype is about. Tune in to The Hype 87.3.
That's right. It is your girl, Tampa Mystic, and we are live right here in ATL on The Hype 87.3. And today, look at this beautiful young lady all the way from Columbus, GA, Exquisite XQ to start out with. Make sure y'all spell it right. Don't get it twisted. How you doing today, beautiful?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. How was your drive here?
It was pretty long. Yeah, then when I was in a car, a spider had tried to get me, so I'm like, okay. Let me not slow down or pull over no more. Let me just try to keep going. Hopefully it stay where it's at till I get there.
Absolutely. But you're now based in Hogansville.
No.
No?
No. I just moved, like outside of the city just to be a little closer.
I got you.
Yeah, I do need to move a little further out, though, but
But you did live in Hogansville at one point in time.
No, that's where I stay at now.
That's what I'm saying. You're now based in Hogansville.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
Oh, no, you good. I was like confused. I was like, hold on a second. So how far is Hogansville from Columbus?
Probably like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay, listen, that's not too bad. Most definitely. Do you feel like both of them cities kind of have inspired you as an artist?
Well, as an artist, I can definitely say Columbus inspired me.
Yeah.
As far as Hogansville, I don't really know too much about it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just ducked into in Hogansville, yeah. And I work from home. I go to school and everything. So, like when I come out there, it's more like probably going to the lake or going to the grocery store or something.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Most definitely. So you started writing your creative messages and everything at 7 or 8 years old.
Right.
Let's take it back. What kind of stories or poems were you writing back then?
Back then it really is kind of a blur. I know I had maybe like 3 or 4 binders before me and my mom had moved. I was in like 3rd grade. But I had like binders full of like all type of creative writing, from like short stories to poetry, from like short poetry, I don't got the right terms right now, but from like short poetry to like poetry with longer lines or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, when we moved, I had lost all of that stuff. But yeah, I was probably like I was in 3rd grade when we moved, so yeah, we stayed there for probably like 4 or 5 years prior to that.
Got you.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you wrote a poem?
Since I wrote a poem. Well, I would consider my lyrics poetry. Really.
Yeah, okay.
So based off of that, the last time I really just wrote, probably like a couple days ago.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if I catch myself down in this city outside of my grandma's house, 9 times out of 10, I'm back in the yard writing.
I love it. Most definitely. Yeah. So how would you describe your growth as an artist from like your very first track that you wrote to your upcoming EP, The People's Voice?
So let me see, from the beginning. I started out with Big Dreams, and that was the first track that I wrote. Now, with that, it's really like a big success to me because when I first started out, like rapping and stuff like that, keep in mind, I'm a creative writer, so I didn't really know how to put what I was writing to the beat that I'm hearing. But I had met a guy, Quavo or whatever. He had ended up, he's a producer, so he had ended up sending me a few beats, probably like 2-3 beats. One of them was real catchy. That's where I came up with Big Dreams from. Now, from then until now, I would say I'm far more lyrical now. Of course, I get the concept of applying the lyrics to the beats and adjusting the vocals, layering my vocals and everything like that. So I would say like the growth has been outstanding, and I think it's only going to get greater later.
I know that's right. So if we went back and heard some of your first songs compared to now, we would hear the growth within your music. Definitely. Yep. And I feel like, every day, every month, every year we get a little bit older, we have more to talk about because we've experienced more in life. Most definitely. So what inspired the title, The People's Voice? And what message did you want to deliver through the project?
So with The People's Voice, with that EP, and I have pushed the date out because it's going to just take a little more work. Yeah. But with The People's Voice, basically, the title speaks for itself. I'm speaking for the people. I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking off of experience. I'm speaking off of, current feelings, past feelings, and a lot of what, the people can relate to.
Yeah. So is music like a form of therapy per se, where this is your outlet? You can pour your emotions into it. You can pour your thoughts into it and get it out to the world without making yourself super vulnerable per se.
Right. Yep. Music is definitely therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
It is a big outlet for me. It keeps me, humble. It keeps me sane. It keeps me out of a lot of trouble, like, because that's something else that keeps me busy. Not only that, but I can take like the feelings that I'm feeling currently, previously, I can take those feelings and put it into my music, and I'm not even. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you because, oftentimes people hold it inside, and then that's where anxiety comes into play. That's where depression comes into play. Mental health is very real. So I feel like we as humans, that human element be kicking in. We need an outlet. Right. And music has become that for you. Right. Absolutely. You're a mother.
Yep.
So it's like we got to stay on point,
Yeah, we got to.
When we got kids, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely. Absolutely. So you've always had a love for instrumentals and musical keys. How do you typically choose the beat, or does it speak to you? Does it choose you?
Yeah, so I just let the beat speak to me, Now, with beats, I don't necessarily have a type, but a lot of times the type of beats that speak to me would be the more layered beats that you got the different keys and melodies playing, the different instrumentals. Then you probably got like some type of harmony in the back. If I run across a beat like that, 9 times out of 10, I'm taking it, I'm going to run with it,
So where do you have producers maybe that'll send you beats, or do you browse online, or a little bit of both?
I would say a little bit of both. Now, as far as just sending me beats, shout out Track Chemist. He gonna send me beats like all the time. That's my dog from day one, from the cradle to the grave. That's my dog. Track Chemist beats. Then you got YDG gonna fix it. Yeah, YDG gonna send me the beats too. Or either I'm probably that's my main engineer, so I'm probably in the studio recording with him. Then once I wrap up what I got going on, he probably like, oh yeah, I got some I've been working on. I want you to hear. Sometimes it's put all the way together. Sometimes he'll finish it while I'm in there. And then as far as like browsing online, I don't do too much browsing, but I've been on Drum Dummy website like a lot. I actually got an EP that I'm working on. Yeah, with a few of his beats or whatever like that. So
super dope. Yeah, it's cool when you can lock in with a producer, because oftentimes artists will grab YouTube beats, which I'm not knocking that. However, there could be 50 or 100 other artists who recorded on that same beat. Right. So it's like you want to try to find something a little bit more exclusive by tapping directly in with the producer. Right. Absolutely. So recording your first song at Hoodie Studios, is that the name of it?
I had, when I went back and proofread the stuff, I'm like, dang, why I didn't proofread it before I sent it? No, so I had started out at Hood Rich Studios.
Oh, Hood Rich Studios, okay.
But the crazy thing is, like, before I even, he introduced me to YDG, and then boom, that was probably like my second time recording this lifetime. So I started out there, and I used to go there like as an outlet or whatever. I used to sit around OG, he got folks coming in, folks coming out.
OG Hoodrich?
Yeah. From big producers to engineers, all type of stuff. And I used to send him like little clips of me in a car rapping and stuff like that. And eventually he ended up introducing me to YDG. The same day that he introduced me to him, we had ended up recording like 2 songs in the studio or whatever. Yeah, it was real dope. It was real dope. I used to love going up there because I had so much going on in life. So that was like, man, the warehouse, that was the biggest blessing.
Yeah.
Like, that was an outlet for me.
Did you get a chance to film with him? Because I know he films like music videos and stuff.
No, I have not had a chance to film with him. He ended up having a lot going on too. So, I ended up not being able to film. I did tap in with him with Bigo, so I was there for like some of the live meet and greets and stuff like that. Yeah. Real dope experience, all that. Shout out OG Hood Rich.
Shout out to OG Hood Rich. Like, I've known him for years, like way back when I first moved here, he used to come out to a lot of my showcases just off of love, and he would film some of the artists performing and stuff, and he would have some of the dopest shots of them performing. So shout out to, I think his government name is Edwin. Shout out to Edwin, OG Hoodridge. Definitely. So you mentioned the importance of performing and like how Tone the Goat gave you an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, of course, he's well known out here in the Atlanta market as well. Like, what was, if you could take us back to that moment, like your first time ever getting on stage, what was going through your head?
So the first time when he called my name, I kind of just went up there and got with it. But it had more to do with like the preparation before I got there. So on the road, before I left home and stuff like that, I'm praying. Before the day came, I'm already praying for like the courage, the strength. I need everything to be able to have a successful performance. And at the same time, at first I was like, dang, how am I to have a successful performance? It's about to be my first performance. But I ended up kind of just, I'm walking by faith. So once he called my name, went up there, grabbed the mic. And once I seen the lights and stuff like that shining on me, they recording me, I had to turn up. Before I knew it, the first performance was lit.
I know that's right.
And with the first performance, when I was walking back to my seat, I had heard somebody, they just kept yelling at me, they screaming like to the top of their lungs, done went crazy. So I'm like, dang. And a girl who I was with, she was pointing, and I looked back, and this hitman Sammy Sam, and he's just like, you going in, that was hard, he was going in. He was like, I gotta talk to you before you leave, da 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 da. I end up locking in with hitman Sammy Sam, first performance, and man, shout out Tone the Goat.
Look at God, man. And shout out to Tone the Goat for presenting that opportunity to you. Is performing something that you enjoy as a part of being an artist?
Yeah, and I think that do got a lot to do with how I'm able to just keep going up there and, performing. And it's like, I didn't have no prior experience. Don't get me wrong, like an adolescent, I'd have been in like a few plays or whatever like that. But just going up there performing, especially something that I've created, like I had no prior experience. But a lot of it just has to do with it being something that I enjoy doing. Yes. I really do. And I didn't even know that, but I really do, and I enjoy it.
And I feel like getting on them stages in front of some somewhat smaller crowds not only builds you up for the stadiums where there's 5,000, 10,000 people in attendance, it's also a great way to test out your new music. Right. Because if you're performing and the people in the crowd are just staring at you or they're all in their phone, that might let you know they're not really feeling this song. Yeah. Right. But if they turning up like you said, oh boy was, that's a solidification, man. I'm onto something. Right. I feel like it's so important. There's artists out here who refuse to do that. And I'm like, man, y'all are missing out. Yeah, I'm not saying you got to go do it every single week, but
at least get active though,
Get active, absolutely.
Networking plays a big role,
So you said that your first interview caught you off guard, but it turned into a major moment. What did you learn about yourself in that experience?
That I guess I'm just loving the overall experience then. Yeah, that's what it got to be. Again, Tone the Goat had opened up a platform. He put me on this podcast or whatever. So prior to me coming, he was telling me making it like I was auditioning for a movie that he was about to get ready to start doing or whatever. Okay. But when I got there, he was just like, I'm we're gonna do an interview, and I want you to freestyle and stuff like that. So I'm like, what? You about to do an interview and you want me to freestyle? And I got my baby with me and all that. So I'm like, man, let me just go and rock out, because I am a single mother, so I'm just trying to, keep everything open for my son to see, that it's a lot out here. You never have to narrow down anything that you envision in your mind thinking that you're incapable of reaching that level. I want to show him above and beyond.
Absolutely. When you were in the bathroom, he and I were chatting a little bit, and he said, he's kind of, getting into music and stuff. And I think that's amazing, because it's like we have to, as parents, put our kids on the path we want them to do better than us, first and foremost. I know I always wanted my son to do better than me, but it's up to us to show them the way. So it's I love the fact that he's here with you. That was me when my son's grown now, but when he was little, he was everywhere with me. It was like my little sidekick.
Yeah, that's how he is. And then since he's getting older, though, I'm trying to, get to where I can just let him do his thing and be around more people and stuff because, you know, he's a guy too, and I don't know nothing about that. So
right, understood. Yeah, it's like I feel like we as women can only do so much, but we have to allow, whether it's, you know, a coach, or like for me, my dad was around because I was a single mom, and my dad showed him the manly things and how to treat women, and, you know, certain things that I feel like men need to step in and play that role. So like you said, bringing him out, experiencing real life,
right.
well, rather than keeping them locked in and sheltered,
Right.
it's so important.
Right.
Teaches them people skills. Look at him. He over there sitting there. He's just like being quiet, keep it to himself. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. So you're pursuing, is it your doctorate in psychology?
Yep, my PSYD in psychology. So right now I'm at West Georgia Tech.
Okay.
I plan to finish it off at Georgia Southern.
Wow.
I'm really in the process now trying to see if I can go ahead and switch over to Georgia Southern, but,
Yeah.
you know, stay tuned for that.
So you're planning on becoming a mental health awareness coach.
Right.
How would you say that this is tying into your music career? Because I feel like there's a lot of people in the music industry, mental health is real.
Right.
And they get stressed out in this industry when
Right.
things aren't going their way. How do you feel like it's going to all tie in together?
I believe that it'll all tie in together just by me being able to, you know, like help artists from the upcoming artists to living legends just be able to continue along their journey regardless to those rough times, regardless to those long nights, regardless to those weary days.
Yes.
Know? Like I can just be that, you know, I can be that shoulder to lean on, not to the point to where, you know, it's weighing on me, but yeah, I want to open up my doors and really be like of help when it comes to the industry, because it is something great in life just to be a part of. The music industry is, but yeah.
Absolutely, because, you know, just like the young man from the Outlaws just took his life, you know, suicide, and he was in his 40s, you know, which in my opinion is still very, very young, you know, 49-ish, somewhere in there. And I'm like, you never know what people are going through.
Right, that's what I was telling my son, right, yeah.
That's why it's so important that we are kind to people, because you don't know what little comment we could make could push them over the edge.
Right, and it'd be like the last thing they could take.
Exactly, and then they hurt themselves or hurt somebody else or whatever. So I think that's so beautiful that you're getting into that field, because I don't feel like mental health is talked about enough.
Right.
You know, because some people are ashamed that they're going through stuff. Like, I openly admit that I get anxiety from time to time, but I find ways to deal with it without popping pills, you know, like I go for a walk, I'll go to the gym, I talk with somebody. That's beautiful. How much longer do you have to go in school?
About 2.5 years.
Okay.
To get my PSYD up.
Congratulations. That's a big deal. I'm
Yes.
loving it. I love it.
Yep.
So you got plans to earn degrees in like communication, business, accounting, like there's multiple things that you want to do.
Right.
Why is it so important to be like educated across multiple fields?
You know, just because since I was a little girl, I got a cousin he's still in the military. He in Hawaii right now, but he always told me to like have that A, B, and C, you know. And then like I'm multi-talented. Sometimes I can dip and dab, but I'm learning to, you know, finish all the way out with one thing before moving on to the next, things like that. But it's like always have you something lined up to catch your back in, because you never know what could happen.
That is facts. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to have multiple hustles out here, especially in 2025. There's a lot of uncertainty with our government and our ruling and the politics, and it's crazy. And, you know, years back, people would always say, oh, the American dream. And I feel like that's out the window now. Like, people are wanting to leave here now, you know, because so with that being said, we have to have multiple ways to bring income in to just survive. It's crazy, most definitely. Tell us about your fitness business.
Okay, with fitness, boom. So what started me with fitness was actually the military. I was about to get ready to join the Army, and when I went into the recruiting office, I was probably like 230 something pounds, and I'm 5 feet. So that was like, what you want, you know? And he was talking to me, telling me I had to lose weight and stuff. And he was like, you know, after you lose 20 pounds, come back in here, let me see you. So I'm thinking 20 pounds is it. So I'm like, oh, I can go on ahead and do that. He was like, yeah, basically he was telling me to lose 20 pounds, it's going to take me 3 months. So I had to prove him wrong. Like, if I put my mind to it, to lose 20 pounds, I'm probably going to do that in like a month. Boom. So I took off. First month, I lost 20 pounds. After 3 months, I had lost over 60 pounds. I'm still going in the recruiting office, like having them tape me and everything, because I'm still in my mind getting ready to leave. So after a while, you know, I ended up losing. I lost like 100 pounds total, maybe a little bit more than that. And my smallest was like 133. And then I just kind of had that experience of losing the weight, going back, toning, and just, you know, going through the ups and downs with it, learning the nutritional version and everything like that. So I ended up opening my own business, Precise Fitness, and it was during the pandemic, probably like in the middle of 2019. And, you know, with the business, how that go. Probably like the first 2 years or so, I'm still trying to, it's the ups and downs. I'm trying to get right and all that. But
especially during the pandemic.
I'm like, what? Yeah. So.
But that's dope. Congratulations, first and foremost, on the weight loss. I feel like people who's never had to experience losing a significant amount of weight doesn't understand how difficult it can be and how much discipline it takes.
Right.
And this is no shade, but fellas don't understand because women, we bear children.
Right.
So our bodies naturally hold more body fat and we typically have less muscle mass.
Right.
So the more muscle mass you have, the faster you burn calories. That's why men burn calories a lot faster. So listen, fellas, have grace on us ladies if we have a few extra pounds and we're struggling to get them off because it can be difficult. So what were some of the lifestyle changes that you made to drop that weight?
Oh, let me see. So I was doing cardio. They kind of guided me to start off with. They was like, when you go in the gym, pick 3 different cardio machines and stay on them for 20 minutes apiece. So I'm like, all right, boom. And I picked the, I used to go in there and pick my 3 cardios, do that. And I always kept cardio in my workout, like regardless. And not only that, I had cut out everything, like from the red sauces to the starch, the rice, all that.
Yes.
The red meats. I cut everything out. Then eventually, I started replacing 2 of my meals with the protein shakes with Herbalife. I love Herbalife.
Yeah.
Then I ended up Hard Body Dreek. He's big here in Atlanta. He's a fitness coach.
Okay.
I had ended up purchasing one of his workout plans online, and I ended up just following that. Dropped like a tremendous amount of weight, and then I kind of took off and did my own thing from there.
Listen, sometimes it could be just a few tweaks.
Yeah.
And we may think we're doing all the right things, but once we make them tweaks and the pounds start falling off, because like something I'm about to switch. Because I'm 51, so I'm entering into my menopause years. And, girl, let me tell you, it is so difficult during these years because our estrogen levels decline and stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip-flop. Rather than eating a smaller lunch and a bigger dinner, I'm going to do a bigger lunch and a smaller dinner. Little tweaks like that can make a difference. You know what I'm saying? We just got to figure out what works for us because everybody's a little different.
Yep, and you want to keep critiquing the blueprint anyways to keep from reaching that plateau.
Correct.
Yeah, it keeps everything going, consistent in motion.
Because that's where I'm at. I'm at that plateau right now. I feel like I've been doing exactly what I've been doing.
Right.
But over the last month and a half, I have literally not lost 1 pound. I'm like,
time to switch it up.
Time to switch it up. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
What's your take on what makes someone truly successful in life? And not just music, but like in their purpose?
What makes somebody truly successful in life, honestly, you just got to believe it.
Yeah.
You got to believe it. It's one thing, like when you got the gift of being a visionary, you got to believe what you see. And then you got to be willing to continue to stay consistent in motion regardless to, like I was saying earlier, them long nights, regardless to who by your side, regardless to who you think you don't have or what you think you don't have. You got to learn how to stay consistent in motion, utilize what and who you have, and keep going with it. Everything that you need is already there.
That is the biggest facts ever. No matter what we do in life, losing weight, being a music artist, being a doctor, whatever it is, we have to stay consistent or we're not going to see those consistent results.
Right.
You know, it's like, it's so simple, but yet it can be so difficult.
Right, it's easier said than done.
Easier
really.
said than done. We're humans, so we get caught up in life, and sometimes before we know it, the whole day has passed, and you're like, dang, I missed my workout. Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. No, get up and go do something.
Just do something.
Even if you got to do a few jumping jacks or whatever, get that body active. Definitely. So you had posed a very powerful question. What separates a living legend from a one-hit wonder?
Right.
What is your take on that? And then I'll give you mine, or if you want, I can go first.
I think the living legends are more of the people who kept going through the storm. I think the one-hit wonders got more to do with, for one, they may have found out that they weren't so passionate about it as they thought they were in the beginning, or for two, they may just, as somewhere they got comfortable in that storm and they chose to settle versus to keep going. But I'm learning.
Listen, I feel like you gave the perfect answer. I couldn't agree more. Do you feel like there's a lot of one-hit wonders being created right now because of social media?
So let me see, with the social media thing, I feel like it is a lot of, I couldn't even say that it's a lot of one-hit wonders with the social media, because with the social media thing, it's a lot of the younger crowd that's, they're really jumping right now off of social media and their music. Yeah. But you can't too much call them a one-hit wonder unless you see that they're lacking when it comes to their work ethic, because they got so much time ahead of them to critique their blueprint to, whatever it is. They might fall, they might bear off track, whatever the case may be, but they can easily get back on track and pick up where they left off, and they have so much time ahead of them. Yes. And, so much room to grow still. So it's hard to say whether or not they are one-hit wonders or not, Yeah, because unless you see that they're lacking when it comes to their work ethic. Exactly.
You are absolutely right, because I don't care how big your social media following is, there's still people out who don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. Like, there'll be artists and they might have, we'll say 300,000, 400,000. Yeah, that's a great following. Right. But there's still millions and billions of people in the world who don't know who you are yet. So don't ever act like, man, I'm the biggest thing popping, because there's still a lot of work to do.
You still got to get active, right?
You still got to stay active, and you still got to work like nobody knows you.
Right, exactly.
So, right. Man, I think that was perfect, because I agree with you 100%. Like, in like the living legends, people, like, I feel like Wayne is a living legend. Right, and all these years later, he's still active. He's still doing stuff. Right. He didn't say, oh, I done made it, now I can sit back and kick my feet up. He's still working.
Yep, still putting in,
Still putting that work in, definitely. With the last few months ahead, we're already, mid-July already. What goal have you set for yourself musically and personally that you are going to make sure that you reach by the end of this year?
Okay, so by the end of this year, I'm just planning to, at least with music, I'm planning to have me at least 2 videos out. Okay. Boom. The EP might not come out before the end of the year, but at least 2 videos, probably like 4 more singles. And I plan to, just get out here and get back active to grow more of a fan base. Or, just to get out here and get more support, should I say. And just based on like a personal level, for the last 6 months, I'm just making sure I stay locked in. I'm headed the right way. You just got to stay locked in.
Sounds like you're doing a great job to me. So the project, The People's Voice, like you said, and I feel like you're doing it the right way. You're not forcing it out there. Let it come and be delivered to the world when it's the right time. And you'll know when it's the right time. Right. Even if it falls into 2026, that's okay. Right. Because I feel like you want to have that complete full motivation behind the project, because if you are like, I'm on the fence with it, and you put it out, you're not going to put your all behind actually pushing it and promoting it. Right. Yeah. So I feel like you're doing it 100% the right way. Do you have any like shows or performances coming up?
Let me see. I do got a performance coming up on the 16th in my city where I'm from. And let me see.
You're going to be doing a mic drop performance here coming up soon.
I got a mic drop coming. And then aside from that, I really don't know. I planned on, getting outside and touching bases with Lil Bankhead. He always outside. So I plan on linking with him. They have mic drops going on, I think like Wednesdays and Thursdays, or Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to try to catch like the next one, the one after that, something like that, yeah.
So one thing about Atlanta, there's always something for artists to get involved with here. Right. Always. And Columbus is a great city too. I've interviewed a ton of artists from Columbus, and when I first moved here, I was doing artist showcases in Columbus once a month. Okay. And I really enjoyed it. The venue that I was at eventually had ended up closing down for whatever reason, but I enjoyed it because people really came out to support. Okay. Right. So shout out to Columbus, GA. Yeah. Definitely.
Shout out Columbus, GA.
What's one thing that you'd want your supporters or even your new listeners to take away from your journey so far?
One thing that I want them to be able to take from this journey is to just know how to stay consistent regardless to what's going on, Yeah. That's one thing that I'm learning right now, basically, because sometimes I be feeling depressed, or I be worried about this, I be worried about that, and it's like I know that I can't really look over my shoulder. I can't pick up my phone and call my mama and just, talk to her, express myself or whatever. And then I know I can't call my dad and stuff like that. So sometimes, stuff like that run across my mind. I be battling with my emotions and stuff, but regardless though, I know that I am a visionary and I got a lot going on for myself and my son. So it's just like regardless to how I feel and those emotions that I'm battling, like, the main thing is to keep going. Yes, absolutely. I think keeping yourself active and busy helps with that. Because I know if I'm like at home and I'm not doing nothing, that's when my mind is racing. Right. Where I experience it the most is when I get ready to go to bed. You're in a quiet, dark room. That's when I can't shut my damn mind off. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, go to sleep already. Yep. Overthinking every little scenario and situation, oftentimes that we are completely out of our control. Right. Now with me, I'm not too much of a overthinker, but like my mind race from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep. My mind is just going. If I got time on my hands, like how I'm busy right now, I'm active right now. Like my mind is not really racing. I'm enjoying the conversation. Everything is good. I love it. But if I sit still for a little while, oh man, and it's like it don't stop till my eyes close. Absolutely. That's why I constantly try to be doing something. Like when I'm at home, if I have some downtime, I might catch a little bit of TV here and there, but I'm like, I have a home podcast studio, so I'm down there working, whether it's editing interviews, editing recaps, working on some blogs. I try to stay always doing something because that's what keeps me sane. Right. Tell us about this record called Hell and Back. Hell and Back. Let me see. I was outside my grandma's house when I wrote that. Okay. I was back then. Not in the yard. I was back then on the side of the street, though, right in front of the yard. I rolled it. And it was just like, I don't know, I guess I was feeling some type of way, so I listened to the beat. He probably had just sent it not long before I started writing, because that's usually how I go. So I'm just, I done been through hell and back. How the hell you move when you got happy feet? The wise man with the last laugh. Y'all keep laughing, please. Now I'm on their neck, real thug, cry, they capping me. So I know I'm feeling some type of way just by how I came in. Yeah. You were able to vent through your music. Yeah. And that's the best place to put it. Yeah. Rather than going out here doing something that we may regret later, girl, put it straight through the music. Yeah. So do you typically sit down and write all your music before you get in the studio? Now I do a bit of both. You punch in a little bit. I like to write, because it gets more of me to the beat. It get more of my message out. But I'll punch in too, do me a little freestyle, then punch in from there, but let me see. When I was like in the studio, like in the actual booth, I guess like I had a lot of time in the actual booth, so it was like I'm in my own space. I done created my own environment, so I was able to work a little bit deeper. So if you like pay attention to my older music versus the music that I'm releasing and getting ready to release, it's like my older music, it was more of me working. I'm layering my music. I got the ad libs and everything with it, the harmony on the back and all that, because I'm in the booth.
Yeah.
And I'm in my own environment. But the music that I've been putting out, or that I'm putting out, getting ready to put out, that's more of, just straight raw, straight to it.
I love it.
I ain't really been too much in the booth, but I still been recording,
It's probably really based upon the type of record that you want to project to the world on how you deliver it. Because I feel like if you write a song, once you get in that booth, maybe some new ideas might start coming to play for that song. That's where you can punch in a little bit, switch something up, and whatever works for you is the best creative process.
Right.
I don't feel like there's really a right or a wrong way. It's what works for you.
Right. Definitely.
So do you go you don't have to say where, but do you go to a studio in the Columbus area to record?
Oh, no, and I'm real funny about my music. So when OG Hoodrich introduced me to YDG, I've been locked in.
Okay.
And other than YDG, I used to record with this guy in Columbus, MP3. And he recorded Big Dreams. He recorded another song I like, Trips. And, he recorded a lot, really. We really was recording. But he ended up moving to Texas or whatever. And then right before he moved to Texas, that's when I had ended up linking with Tone to Go. But YDG, that's my main engineer. That's who I.
That's good. You met him right at the right time.
Yeah.
That transition was pretty smooth. Look at God. I feel like God be having his hands all over everything. Yep. Absolutely. So Helen Beck, who produced this song? Who's the producer on this one?
YDG. He
is,
did
okay.
That. Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah, matter of fact, we produced that. We was in his living room right before his mama passed. We made Helen Beck, and we made Walked In. And it was something else that we did the same day, though. Yeah, we were going in.
That's dope, man. That's dope. For anybody that's interested in keeping up with you, following your journey, where are you active on your social medias?
So I'm mostly active on Instagram. That's about it, really. Instagram, but I got a TikTok, I got Facebook or whatever. My Instagram pretty long. It's that's Xquisitee. XQUEE at the end. But I'm mostly on Instagram.
Yeah, me too. I'm an Instagram girly. But you have some content on YouTube and stuff, though.
Yeah, I got content on YouTube. I really need to get on there and get active for real with YouTube.
Because YouTube be paying out.
That's what they said. That's what's going on.
Yeah, like if you can get your YouTube monetized, like my YouTube's monetized, like I get money coming in every month. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, get active on that YouTube. It's extra little check coming in.
Okay, yeah.
Who do you want to give thanks to that's been loving you and supporting you through your journey?
That's really been loving and supporting me through my journey. I want to give thanks to my son, for real, just for being here. He might not know it, but yeah, that's big to me just because he's here, because it makes me feel a lot more confident with what I'm doing.
How old is he?
He's 12.
Big 12.
Yeah, his birthday coming up July 31st.
Happy early birthday. You're welcome. He's so handsome, too.
Thank you. Yep. And then other than that, just anybody that's still supporting me, that still believe in me, that's still holding on. Shout out my producer, shout out my engineer, and shout out everybody who been had my back along the way.
And shout out to yourself, too, because you making it happen.
Thank you. Shout out to myself.
Y'all clock that. So let's go ahead and get into the record if you can introduce it for us.
All right. So the record is Helen Beck.
Y'all stay tuned for it.
Period.
You're locked in with Atlanta's hottest hip-hop station. The Hype 87.3.
If it's not a track, can it's beat?
Then it's not playing right. I done been through hell and back. How the hell you move when you got happy feet? The wise man with the last laugh. Y'all keep laughing, please. Now I'm on that neck, real thug. Cry, they capping me. In the middle of the jungle, me viewing thug mistress. The tigers and the witches leading the sheep. I'm trying to miss it. I'm a